same tower arms that put the rocket in the launch mount are used to catch the rocket. And that means that we can put the booster back in the launch mount.
Let's
less than
go.
an hour after liftoff. In fact, the booster's going to come back very fast. Like, 5 or 6 minutes later.
Let's go.
Or not coming back.
Big SpaceX launch, baby.
Really have to power full time, which can be brought down to about.
What a big deal. We got Elon talking right now.
It is theoretically possible to.
What was the word that set off my audio robot? Was it oh yes? I don't know. Should be going now.
It'll make you uncomfortable, said. What was the word that set off your audio robot? Was it oh yes?
I think it was like LO, 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 or just like the long O's it likes, you know? Let's go. Right now they're iffy on weather, so I'm hopeful that they're gonna go off today. They scrubbed yesterday due to LOX load issue on the ship.
It'll make you uncomfortable, said. Lol.
Looks like my counter's 5 seconds ahead of their counter. Not a big deal. I'm even more accurate. I should put tracks on in the background too. We got Elon talking, I don't know. He's doing his update. They've been promising this technical update for a while. I need to get my beer though. Oh, can't watch a launch without a beer. Come on, baby, come on.
Changing what's underneath the tile.
Let's go.
There's
25 minutes.
100 different variables that we can tweak with the ship tiles.
How exciting.
But the only way to know exactly what we should.
Just gonna fuck everything up. Let's see.
To fly.
Oh yeah, of course it did.
The ship upon landing.
Whoops.
And we have successfully brought the ship.
There we go.
And achieved a soft landing
Boom.
times. So we know that this is possible, but we have in the process shed many.
I'll go
shield tiles.
full screen on the stream once it gets close.
And do so repeatedly.
And I think what you're seeing now is the Starship.
It'll make you uncomfortable, said. Off to the nuke-powered space rock.
Right.
Make sure we don't scrape the tiles off as we slide along the
We can't shuck the heat shield.
Let's go.
If we shuck the tiles, then that's actually going to fail the rebuild test.
So ships can use the tower to land and catch like the booster here on Earth. Where towers
25 minutes.
For our initial landings on Mars and other planets.
Is it gonna go, or are they gonna
What you're seeing here with ships
scrub it due to weather? I think they can hold for a little bit. I don't know how long the launch window is. Probably an hour or so.
Which was a successful test. We actually landed to.
Let's go, baby.
We were able to actually recover it, and you can see it here in the rocket garden if you visit Starbase.
Maybe we'll dabble in some nickels.
So the rocket garden that Bill mentioned, we have
A little bit of a launch, a little bit of some nickels.
and we'll be adding to them over time, so you can see an evolution.
Let's go.
Of the Starship, just by driving down the highway.
So reusability is key. There's some other technologies we're still looking to prove out. Really big one is going to be the on-orbit refilling.
How come EDA has 63,000 people watching him and I only have like 2? Oh, because Kanslaw has 6 right now, so he's competing against me, no doubt.
Again, never been done before.
Or I guess I'm on his time right now. This is weird for me. 7:30.
But it's going to be something that's kind of some of the other stuff.
Oh, they're gonna mate those bad boys one day.
We'll be able to send hundreds of tons per ship to Mars.
Let's
Yeah, I like
go.
to think of it as if we get to orbit with a full cargo bay, but we're empty on fuel and oxygen. So basically, we're running on fumes. Then we send other ships to dock, transfer propellant, and now we made our 2-stage rocket look like many multi-stage rocket, and we get all of that performance. And we can take
Come on,
the
baby.
cargo bay now wherever we want to go.
Just hopeful on weather. Looks like they're feeling fine.
Technology that we
They're really giving Elon the talk to this time.
It'll make you uncomfortable, said. I have a live in 1.26 minutes. Every Monday to Wednesday.
Cool.
I'll try and stick around.
Hey.
Winking face.
No worries.
a few hundred tons.
Let's go.
Sort of a full payload bay, but once it gets to orbit, the tanks will be mostly empty, and then you send up additional tanker ships to refill the Mars ship's tanks, so that so it can thrust from Earth orbit to Mars and have enough propellant left for landing. So this is orbital refilling is also not something that's ever
Man,
been
Elon
before.
talking is even more boring than watching me talk about coins all stream.
Have SpaceX figured out how to dock repeatedly with the space station, so in a lot of ways this is like docking.
Turn this up, maybe
in
you
some
can
ways
listen
it's
to him a little
easier.
bit.
The ship, SpaceX is docking with its own craft, but no one has ever demonstrated propellant transfer.
Any music
in
and
orbit, to the best
reviews?
of our knowledge, and
It'll make you uncomfortable, said. Not my channel. We do
And,
indie music and reviews.
Sweet.
But with
Like
full
you make your own
reusability,
music or
propellant
what?
Transfer. Those are the key technologies needed for building a city on Mars, and I'm confident that the SpaceX team, which is
I've been down to
talented, will achieve
this launch pad a few times. It's pretty awesome
goals,
to go down there.
and we will be landing ships
Now that
on
I've
Mars in the
seen
future
it in person,
and
it's just
building
something that
life on Mars.
I'm really
building
into
greenhouses
watching.
and
I
life
haven't
on
missed a
Mars, and,
Starship launch yet, obviously, but
ensuring the long-term
I was
survival
even
of
on a
life, as we
streak
know.
for Falcon 9 for a
It's
long
important
time
to note here
there.
that obviously, we're effectively stewards of
Showcase
life,
others' music,
here on
cool.
Earth, that the other creatures cannot build spacecraft and get to other planets. So if there were to be a cataclysmic event, like a giant meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs, or ultimately the sun will expand to envelop Earth and destroy all life.
You know, I'm so worried about the demise
undisputed
of
fact.
civilization.
It'll make you
then,
uncomfortable, said.
If we
We
don't take
showcase
life
others'
to another
music.
planet, life will be destroyed. So it's incumbent upon us to ensure
Let's
that we do
go.
bring life to other planets and ensure the long-term survival of life as we know it on planet Earth.
I haven't seen a catch in person,
aside
but
from that, there's so
standing
much
like 300
that
feet
Starship
away
unlocks
from
by being
this
able to do
rocket,
these
you get to get
things.
really
Like,
close. It's
we'll be able to
really,
go to
really
Mars,
impressive.
but there are other just transformational things. Like
The
being able
sound
to
is
take
crazy.
That many people, that much stuff to space for that much less money.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Come on, baby.
It'll make
understanding
you
our planet
uncomfortable,
better,
said.
being able to move
That's
people
awesome you
around
got
the
to see
planet,
that.
make
Okay,
it feel
sign.
smaller and more accessible. You could go anywhere
Let's
on the Earth, you know, in
go.
less than 40 minutes, basically, in terms of flight time. So I really do see Starship as being this thing that can connect us, just like Starlink connects our information. This can connect us more physically.
Yeah. So there's really nothing faster than a rocket. Really, an orbital rocket is the fastest.
Yeah,
thing,
the one time I watched it
that we
from
know.
It'll
It's very
make you
close to the-
uncomfortable,
How
said.
fast it means
The
you're
sound
transported.
would
the
be
Mexican
crazy.
border.
So, like
You can
could
actually
go
get
from
closer to the
LA
pad
to
for a
Sydney
launch
in less
from the
than half an
Mexican
hour.
border. Maybe not still, but you could at
go
the
from
time
LA to
than anywhere
Tokyo
in the
in half an hour.
States.
You go from
So I did the
New
trek
York
to
to
there,
Singapore
and
in
it's like it
half
went
an
right over top of me,
Everything's
and
probably
it was
half an hour,
insane.
basically.
I brought
Some things might be
headphones
10
and
minutes.
everything.
I mean, yeah, sign me up for that, please. All right, cool.
Across the Atlantic in 10 minutes.
Let's
no
go,
problem.
baby. Let's go.
Yes, sign me up.
You're going 25 times the speed of
It'll
sound. so
make
that's
you
30 times
uncomfortable,
faster
said.
than a
Epic
commercial
bass.
aircraft.
And it's a whole hell of a lot better view.
Yeah, it's a hell of a view.
Yeah. All right, cool.
You feel it. You see it. You
anything else,
see the
man?
sound.
Anything else
Well,
you're
I mean,
really
there's- we-
excited
we
about?
You can
can
see
say a lot
like
more.
Yeah.
the vibrations, the shock waves, like shaking, like
get
All
on
right,
the
we're gonna go back
condensation
on
and stuff as
consoles.
it's like taking off.
Hopefully the weather supports the launch tonight. And yeah, thanks for tuning
Okay,
in. And,
T-minus 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Elon's done talking all
Thanks
awkwardly,
for
so
having us.
back to
It'll
me
make you
talking
uncomfortable,
awkwardly.
said. So cool.
I even have SpaceX hardware if you want to see it. I like showing it off every once in a while. After the launches, I like to go scour around the pad, and I actually found not only some hardware from under the launch mount and stuff, I found actually some ship hardware as well, so I'm pretty stoked on that, dude. Not a big deal.
All right, that was sweet.
Let's
turn
go.
our attention back to the rockets. They're just checking in. We are about 19 minutes and change away.
I don't want to
from
see them
where we
pause that
are. As I
clock
said
at
right
all.
the top, weather is going to be our primary concern. We were tracking some anvil clouds. We're hopefully clearing that on the range soon. We are not currently tracking any hardware blockers to launch, but we'll continue to follow along. If anyone was following along yesterday, we actually didn't
Come
even
on,
get
baby.
into our webcast as we had a leak on one
Hopefully
of
they
the
don't scrub
hoses
it.
feeding into the or
Let's
feeding
go,
the liquid
baby.
oxygen into the ship through its quick disconnect. We were able to replace that this morning. Team did an
Matt
incredible job.
Blasioli
Got us
said,
into an
I'll
attempt
try and
today.
be back for blast off.
All right, joining me
Quick
now for the
disconnect.
rest
Let's
of the day
go.
is Amanda Lee.
Who's this?
Hi, Amanda.
Thanks, Dan. I'm
Somebody
super
new.
excited to be here. Let's just get right into it.
Yeah, a whole bunch has happened to get us to today's flight.
Oh, so
flight test.
exciting.
Let's look back at Starship's 9th flight test.
Let's
in
go.
May that did end with a rapid unscheduled assembly on the ship and the booster.
Flight 9 marked the first reflight of a super heavy booster. We saw successful
Very
stage
close.
separation and the first ever deterministic flip, which gives us extra performance. The reusability is a much higher angle of
I'd love to play with some
attack
explosives.
capabilities, which ended
Let's
up
switch it up
causing
here.
some
See if this
internal
works.
structural failure, eventually leading to
Eventually, I want to make
disassemblage.
my own rocket.
Yeah, ship continued its ascent. We did see pressure drop in its main fuel
Let's
tank,
go.
rise in the nose cone. We just had a camera view. We actually caught the failure on camera. In the
It'll
fuel
make you
pressurization
uncomfortable,
system.
said.
Are you gonna show this?
I play with
Though,
explosives.
achieved its
Love the
velocity and
shockwave.
second stage
Shout
engine
out to
cutoff.
Indie Boom
After that, though,
Shockwave.
we did run into some
Didn't really
issues with
make it that
attitude
far.
control, which led us
The
to
wing
skipping
flew
the
off.
payload deploy and Raptor relay demos.
And then it
Starship
exploded.
eventually re-entered the atmosphere in an
Let's
off-nominal
go.
attitude, and communication was lost approximately 46
17
minutes into
minutes.
the flight test during
It looks like it's
entry,
clearing
but
up.
Of course, not before one heck of a light show.
That booster rud was caused by higher than predicted forces on its structure, specifically that internal fuel transfer tube, as we were doing a higher angle of attack experiment. To fix
Man,
that,
this is
the
gonna be
remaining
fucking
flights of
crazy.
this
Let's
version
go,
of
light it
booster,
up.
including the one
Too bad they're
behind
not
us,
catching
was
it,
gonna
but
lower that angle of attack,
be nice to
so
see
relaxing those forces, that minimizes the likelihood of
if they at
structural
least
failure.
make it
And
to
over on the ship
suborbital
side,
and they do
we
the relight.
redesigned the part of the fuel pressurization system that failed on Flight 9, put it through
They
a
put
more
looks like they put a
rigorous
few.
test
What are they
campaign,
doing over
and
there?
after subjecting it to
They're
flight-like
doing some
stresses,
work over
we
there.
did
They put a
successfully
roundabout
run for
in.
more than 10 times the expected
And they put a
service
fence
level
up.
damage, so great
You can
test
see like the
results, though.
trail that you
Our
can
goal
walk
is
around the
always to make
pad
it
when
through
you're
all of
there.
the objectives we
When they give
set,
these overhead
but any
views.
result that teaches us
It'd be
more
funny to
about
see somebody
Starship
walking around
performing
down there
in
now.
the real-world environment helps us to make those targeted iterations and improve
Let's
quickly.
go.
Yeah, that's how SpaceX developed our first rocket, Falcon 1. That's the same philosophy we used to develop Falcon 9, which has passed 100 flights just this year and 500
Come on,
flights
baby.
overall.
Yeah, incredible milestone for Falcon, and again, the way they got there was to launch, learn, and repeat.
All right, so that wasn't the only thing that happened while getting ready for Flight 10, if you followed along. Ship 36, which was originally supposed to fly on Flight 10, experienced a major anomaly during a static fire test at our Massey's test site. It was in the process of loading all of its cryogenic propellant.
Oh, yeah, I
to do a
forgot about that.
6-engine static fire when we had a sudden energetic event that resulted in the complete loss of the Starship, and we damaged the immediate area surrounding the stand out there at Massey's.
The most likely root cause was identified as undetectable or underscreen damage to a composite overwrapped pressure vessel, or COPV, in
Maybe a
Starship's
little bit
payload
of
base section.
moisture
To
in one of
address
the
this problem,
layers. What happened?
probable cause, we're operating the COPVs on the ship at a lower pressure and also implemented additional proofs and inspection methods.
Meanwhile, though, keep our launch
See, I
schedule
don't
up, got to keep testing. The
ship
team
like that
was
again.
able to pivot and use the launch pad, the one we're on today, to do ship static fire tests. It was the first time we've ever done that. Doing that retrofit was the fastest path to get back to launch.
Go.
The team was able to engineer a solution where we used a transport ring to mount the ship, routed a whole bunch of extra hoses and everything to load propellants. They knocked that out in just a matter of weeks, where we had 2 static fires on the orbital mount.
Yeah, very impressive turnaround there, getting to these static fires. These static fires gave us the data we needed to progress to launch and are a prime example of our engineer and technician teams working to build creative solutions to keep us charging forward to eventually bring
Let's
Starship
go.
online.
And even while doing all of this, we're in the process of rebuilding the test stand out at Massey's to get ready for the next generation of Starship version 3. So right now, though, we are still on track. We're looking about 14 minutes
looks
away.
like
Again,
it's
our
pretty
T0 is at 6:59 p.m. Central. While we still have a couple of moments, though, let's toss it over to Chris, who's getting ready to watch the launch out
Where's
in
that?
California. How's it going, Chris?
Oh, Cali.
Hey, Dan and Amanda, it's going great, and welcome everyone to the Tesla Diner here in Hollywood, California. For the first ever public showing of a SpaceX webcast, it's been great to
drone
see the
flying
webcast
around.
up here on the big screens at the diner. You know, throughout the afternoon, we've had members of the public coming up, mixing and mingling, enjoying some of the food, getting to
Come on,
watch some
baby.
old science fiction, but also getting to watch and keep up to date with what's happening here for
13
Starship's
minutes.
10th test flight. I think I can speak for everyone here when I say we're really looking forward forward to the epic views that we're going to get from in space and during atmospheric reentry, all thanks to Starlink. And speaking of Starlink, that's actually how we're coming to you live from the diner, relying on one of those many reliable connections that Starlink is able to put down across the Earth and in low Earth orbit. So for a little bit more information on the immediate future of the Starlink constellation, let's head on over to Hawthorne, where my colleague Tyler Lionquist is standing by. Tyler, how's it going there? And are you ready to see a rocket launch today?
We are definitely ready for a Starship launch here in Hawthorne. Hi everyone, my name is Tyler Lionquist, and I'm a Starlink business analyst here at SpaceX. Starlink is SpaceX's low Earth orbit high-speed internet that's bringing connectivity to places where you least expect it, including in space. For today's mission, Starship is outfitted with 4 Starlink terminals, allowing us to get live views of ship while in orbit and all the way down to splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Starlink satellites are built in Redmond, Washington, and that's also where we monitor the health of our entire constellation. So let's take a quick look for more on Redmond.
What a lot of people might not realize when they think about the scale that we're operating is that actually 2/3 of the operational satellites in orbit are Starlink satellites. And then all of those Starlink satellites came from right here in Redmond. We've currently got a constellation of over 8,000 satellites that are flying around in orbit. So they're working together to fill out the whole surface of the Earth, make sure everywhere can have service. So we have these laser links that are connected between the satellites, so each satellite can pass data from one to the other. That is what allows us to have these hundreds of gigabit links between satellites, and that's what allows us to connect every corner of the Earth to high quality, high speed, low latency internet.
Should I get the soundboard going too? Let's go, baby! Space lasers.
When you think about that Starlink that you have at home, the technology that's in there and that's in your antenna is very similar to the antenna that's on the satellite. We use what are called phased array antennas, which is a fancy way of describing an antenna that's made up of many little antennas that work together in order to direct their energy to a specific spot on the ground without a motor.
Generally, satellite manufacturing is a very slow process. It takes people weeks or months to build a satellite. At SpaceX, we iterate very fast, and we have learned how to build satellites at the 70 sats a week rate. As we have focused a lot on production rate, we have not forgotten about our satellite reliability, which is critical to our mission.
If you look at the whole world and you ask, where is the satellite industry? It's right here in the USA, in Redmond, where the vast majority of satellites being built are being built right here. Starlink is a truly game-changing
They've just been promoting their Starlinks and showing a little bit of their manufacturing process. It's pretty impressive.
Here in Redmond.
Sophie Mendez said,
and we're really just getting started at the very beginning of what we want to do with Starlink.
What did I miss? Lol lol lol.
Now, as we mentioned earlier in the show, one of today's objectives is for ship to deploy Starlink simulator satellites that represent the advanced V3 satellites Starship will be launching in the future. And as you can see here, once Starship reaches a nominal orbit, the payload door will slowly begin to open to prepare for deployment. The Starlink satellites will be dispatched relatively quickly, one at a time.
I want to see them
very much like a
launch
Pez
these
dispenser.
dummy payloads. They haven't done it yet.
They'll be situated in one long stack, taking up as little space as possible, allowing for an efficient deployment sequence. And
you guess you got it. Awesome. It's good to hear, Sophie.
The next
I was thinking about that like the past few days.
Until they are all drifting away from Starship.
I was like, what if that biddy went to nobody? Or like the, you know, customs officials.
Each Starlink V3 launch on Starship is planned to add 60 terabits per second.
You guys ever watch one of these launches before?
That's more than 20 times the capacity added with every V2 mini launch on Falcon 9. So we're talking about a massive increase in performance all around.
I'm excited.
Which will ultimately enable Starlink to serve as the communications backbone of the missions to the moon and beyond. But for now, we're going to turn it back over to the team at Starbase. Hey, Dan and Amanda.
Hey, thanks, Taylor. So, quick update for everybody. So weather's still the main thing that we're watching. We are currently red on the range, hoping to clear that anvil rule any moment now. That's really the only thing blocking us at the moment.
Red on the range?
Vehicle's good, pads ready to go. All of our checkouts have been really smooth today after that repair work that we did this morning after we had to abort out yesterday. So we're looking at the weather. That's the thing we're really paying attention to right now.
Meanwhile, prop load is still ongoing. We started loading.
It's a quite impressive thing to see if you go there.
53 minutes,
I've been closer to it than it is tall.
Locks,
not this
fuel,
one,
and finally
but
booster locks began
2 launches ago was the last time I was there.
We'll continue loading prop until just about 3 minutes before liftoff, and ship will conclude first, and then 30 seconds later, booster will finish up.
Yeah, so bottom line, we're looking great in the vehicle.
Yeah,
we're
but
really
no,
good
they're
the
not
range.
going to try to catch the booster on this one.
So we're still waiting to hear
they're
that's clear.
They're going to land the booster in the ocean, and then about the same time for the Starship to hit suborbit anyways, and then about 45 minutes while it coasts, and they're going to try to land it in the ocean. So I want to kind of watch that whole thing. The re-entry is really, really cool. Might look at a couple nickels in between. I don't know. We'll see.
Begin sending the first Starships to Mars next year. These initial ones are going to go without humans. They're just going to put minimally viable landers on the surface, land right in the
We're going to try to do a precision landing in the Indian Ocean.
Just help prove we can
I think the main data they're looking for on this flight is how well I guess they have a new adhesive for the tiles. They want to see how well it works.
And the ultimate landing.
Then during our next window from 2028 to 2029, we'll attempt to land the initial infrastructure and start delivering more equipment while evaluating available resources on the planet. And we'll also have Optimus on board for the ride, designed to do the initial heavy lifting.
Beyond that,
floating pad, no. They either catch this one. They either catch with the arms that are on the launch tower, or they're just going to crash it in the ocean. The booster is it's their old version, so there's no sense in keeping it. They're going to come out with a new version where they can catch it with the new tower.
Back from Mars by 2033, we
same
want
with
to
the
double
ship
the
as
amount
well.
of payload per ship.
They're going to catch the new booster version with the grid fins themselves.
Very exciting missions
so
ahead.
I assume that'll
and these
be on the
first
next
missions
version.
to Mars
They're
are
just
going to be crucial to setting up
waste all
what
these.
we'll need for humans to eventually inhabit the planet. And
are they
we
testing
won't be
the
doing this
fucking
alone.
grid fins right now?
The Italian Space Agency and SpaceX recently signed a first-of-its-kind agreement to carry Italian experiments on the first Starship mission to deliver customer payloads to Mars. These payloads will include a plant growth experiment, a weather monitoring station, and a radiation sensor to gather scientific data during Starship's approximately 6-month interplanetary coast phase from
with
Earth to
Starlink
Mars,
that
and
they've
also
ever
on the
been able
Martian
to
surface.
live stream
really
like a re-entry, because usually the plasma layer around a re-entering capsule, you can't send comms through that, but you can if you point it in like the bow shock. So because there's satellites behind it, they have live streams of the re-entry. So it's pretty awesome to see like it either be successful or fail like in the moment.
Range is still looking good. Still have an eye on the weather at the moment. And prop load is also continuing on both stages of Starship.
All we want to see is that counter still move.
Real quick, so we are.
They might hold at 40 seconds.
We're almost closed out on the booster. We're about 90% on fuel, about 90% on locks. Just
I actually have a tile from one of the ships. I found it after one of the launches.
We're about 11 million pounds.
I was even able to identify where on the ship it was, and I have a picture of it on the ship too.
A lot of propellant to move really big rockets really fast away from South Texas. So once we get close, all of our ground systems will prepare themselves. They do what's called pushbacks. They'll clear out all of those feed lines, push back into the prop farm, and just prepare the area around it. We're doing our final guidance and navigation checks right now.
Not look the greatest from the ground, but the
safety system is about to
ship
get armed.
Cams, when it goes through the cloud layer and then hits like the sun, it's going to look so fucking cool.
I'm not sure if we passed it already, but we do a final thrust vector control, check out the TVC. We'll wiggle the engines that we use to actually steer the rocket itself.
Oh, show the wiggle test.
Everybody's favorite topic, if we need to hold. That hold would come at T-minus 40 seconds. We can hold if we're still waiting for the weather to clear, which is our big item today, or if any other last-minute issues pop up. We'll only hold there if we have an issue. Still waiting to hear confirmation that the weather has cleared. That's the only thing it looks like would hold us today. Here's the business end of a Super Heavy.
Now, once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark that Dan was talking about, a number of events are going to occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure, and ship will switch over to internal power. After that, the quick disconnect arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction, which occurs shortly after T0. And once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark, we do still have the ability to then recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened, and if we can proceed again,
420, I had to do a little something quick.
We hope that doesn't happen, but it has previously. I promise not to psych anybody this time.
Don't psych it.
We do have some kind of points of no return. Once the water starts flowing out of that flame deflector under the launch mount, that happens just a little after T-minus 10 seconds. If that triggers and then we hit a hold, that would be a scrub for the day. We have to refill the water tanks, can't turn it off, got to refill prop, all that stuff. So that's kind of the major watch item. You'll see
make
a
it
big
to water,
splash
they're
under the
launching
launch
it.
mount, and if we see that go and then you hear a hold,
the
that
decision
would
on
mean
weather.
that
I
we're
wonder how
done
long
for
I
the
can hold
day.
it for. I probably
But
missed it.
not.
Oh, he's listening.
BH
He's listening to the comms.
At Sophie Mendez, I can always dream. Grin.
They're gonna scrub it. The weather guy's like, oh man, the clouds are too thick. They're too thick. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I didn't disappear. Sorry, everybody. Listening in as the flight director for today is going through some of the final checks. We are still red on the range for weather.
Fuck.
We are closing out prop load right now, though.
Yeah, as we wait and hear what's going on, we can just quickly review some of the test objectives for today. On the booster side, we're of course hoping for all
like,
33 of those Raptor
green,
engines to power our ascent ahead of hot staging.
Oh,
And once
man, it
that
looked like
stage
they stopped the
separation
clock for a
occurs,
second there, but it's
booster
still
will
clicking.
perform that directional flip before the
I'm
boost
used to them
back
scrubbing.
burn.
This is the
One of
first
the
time I've
interesting
streamed,
experiments we're
a
doing
live
today
live,
is
though.
upon our landing
But
burn, which
I
typically
used to watch
ends
Falcon 9
with
and they
those
would
3
scrub,
center
like,
engines
fucking 10
lit.
times
We're
in a
going to
row,
be
so it's not a big
intentionally
deal.
shutting one of those off and instead
Like they
lighting
say,
one
you'd
from the
rather
middle
be
10 ring. And
on
this is
the
just to
ground
kind of give us an
wishing you were
idea of
in
what
the
it would
air
look like
than
if we
in
ever
the
had an
air
engine out
wishing you were on the
scenario.
ground.
Yeah, using
Oh, yeah,
our
gimbal
time
test,
to
gimbal
really
test
push
so
the
hot.
envelope.
Matt Blasioli said, just fucking send
And so
it.
at this
Send it,
point, we
baby.
are fully closed out on our prop load.
T40, I bet you
Coming
they're
up
going to
on
hold.
a minute and 20, we are still red on the range for weather. So at this rate, looking likely we will hold at T-minus 40 to
How
see
long
if we
can they
can
hold
clear
for?
that anvil cloud roll. That's the one blocker we currently have to a launch today.
It'll make you uncomfortable,
Send
said.
it.
Go, go, go. Sophie Mendez said, Danny doesn't get to see his huge penis launch into orbit.
We're hoping it goes off. They're
All right,
definitely
we
going to pause it at T40.
Did just get confirmation, so we are expecting to hold at T-minus 40. We are still red on the range for
Come on,
weather.
baby.
So look for the clock to pause in just a couple seconds. And
already committed
pause. So
to
we'll
this.
hang out here for a couple
I
of
already
minutes.
drank-
We do
I already
have
drank almost a
until
full
the
beer,
end of the
so-
window.
BH Ringer said,
We won't
"A
have
ban
30
underscore
minutes of
rolls
hold time
related
to hang
some
out,
much-needed
as
rain
we can't.
here.
We're
Forest
essentially
fire 30 miles
not
away, still out
replenishing
of
prop
control.
on the vehicle at this
It'll
point,
make you
so we have to
uncomfortable,
keep a
said.
close eye
Hit
on
the
things
big
like
red button,
temperatures
Elon.
inside the tanks. We can only hold for so many minutes before things start to
How
warm
many
up.
minutes?
Surprise, it's hot in South
They
Texas.
should have a lot of margin.
So
They're waiting for the winds to fucking blow.
Yeah,
Everyone
while
right
we're
now.
holding here at T-minus 40 seconds, we
you're,
reviewed our test
if you're
objectives
east
for
of
booster,
Texas,
but why
suck,
don't we chat
and if
ship
you're
for a
west of
second?
Texas, blow.
After
As hard
stage
as you can.
separation,
Right
ship
now,
will
let's go.
continue onwards
I'm
up
gonna
through its
suck.
ascent to the planned suborbital trajectory. Once
Suck
it
it out
reaches
of
there,
there.
we'll
Let's
undergo
go.
SECO, or where the second stage shuts off its engines. We're hoping to deploy 8 dummy satellites today, which are modeled after Starlink V3.
Come on, look how close the
We're
fucking
also
blue
planning
sky is
to
away.
attempt
Elon
a
just say go.
in-orbit burn, so we'll relight one of those Raptor engines while in space, and that will occur
Sophie
ahead
Mendez
of
said,
re-entry,
"Elon
where we'll
is
also
just
be
the
testing
middleman.
multiple experiments,
His
including
scientists decide
missing
No
tiles,
way.
metallic tiles,
He
and
can overthrow
intentionally
them.
loading
He can
those
say
vehicles'
fucking send
flaps.
it.
And then hopefully we'll conclude
right there
today's
in launch
test flight
control.
with a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
yeah, definitely want to see a ship on the other side of the
You
planet
think the guy's
today.
gonna fucking
We did
not
just get a
listen to
quick
him?
update. So the range is fully green. Weather
Ooh.
is still red. So we are still
Oh.
tracking a detached anvil rule, which
I thought he said
essentially there's an
range is
anvil
red.
cloud that's too close to our launch site, and it needs to move further away. until it moves further away, we can't lift off. So
Just
we are
fucking
expecting
send
an
it.
update in a couple of seconds potentially. Again, we can hang out here for several minutes.
Several
We're not
minutes?
actively replenishing prop.
Sounds like 7.
And getting an
at
update
most.
now.
They were bragging earlier on about how they could stay there for about an hour and a half, like the first or second launch. Come on, baby.
And we're getting a weather update right now.
They're getting a weather update right now.
And teams looking at it. Again, we're just tracking this anvil rule still.
They have
It's our only
Starlink,
blocker today. Range is green,
Starlink
vehicle is
simulators.
green. Weather is currently red.
They've tried to get to the point where they were gonna get them off like 3 times now, and or 3 or 4 times they haven't been able to get
All
them.
right, and sad voice coming in. We did just hear that we are still going to be red. So at this point, we are essentially transitioning this to be a wet dress. So wet dress is when we fully load prop on board the rocket. So we are going to see the clock probably start up again. But once they get down to 10 seconds, they're going to
They might
abort
have
out,
a little bit of
and
time.
then we
Come
will
on.
be done for the day. So
this guy's
sad
such a
news,
buzzkill.
not going to launch today. Weather got in our way. But
Fucking clouds.
you can only control so much. You can't always control
I
the
didn't
weather.
think they would
Can't
be
control
this
the weather.
far on
Wish
the
we
edge.
could control the weather. We're not there yet.
Wouldn't that be
And
nice?
then not send
Wouldn't that
it.
be nice? So we are seeing the clock rolling, but again, we're going to get down to T-minus 10 seconds, and we're going to see that kick
Come on,
back
baby.
out.
Just
and then we're
fucking
going to
send
start
it. Let's
offloading
go.
all of the propellant that's on board the
He's
rocket
such a
today.
buzzkill.
So
Come on.
if you are just tuning in,
Looks like they can be ready for about 5
yeah,
minutes.
it's not going. There it goes. Back to T-minus 40. So again, we essentially turned today into a wet dress. So today still ended up being a test.
Still learning something as always.
So I wonder if they could
Yeah,
probably
still
still
learning
go tomorrow,
something.
but I
We
heard
were
the
able
weather's
to
worse
fix the issue
tomorrow?
that kind of bit us yesterday, where we had a leaky hose that was feeding liquid oxygen
Recycle?
into the ship. But we were able to fix that, but weather got us today. So no launch today. We do have a
maybe
phenomenal
later in the
logistics team,
week.
though,
They can go
so
again?
we should hopefully be able to replenish prop, everything. We don't have to refill all the water tanks because
Okay.
we didn't fire off the deflector, but we'll have to reload the prop. So very good chance that we can try again tomorrow. We'll obviously update everybody online. And yeah, man, sorry,
this
we
is the way it is, baby.
couldn't go today. Don't worry.
He's so sad.
We'll probably go tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see you when we do
Yes.
go for launch.
So obviously follow
No, not
our
scripted,
account
no.
on X
What a
at
waste of a
SpaceX.
beer.
We'll share
It's just an
information
early
as soon as it
start to
comes
a coin
available.
roll
We'll
hunt.
also be updating the web at SpaceX.com. So thanks for joining us
normally when I
today.
start, eh?
Exciting
Anyways,
countdown. Weren't
A
able to get
little
off the
bit
ground,
longer.
but we'll give it another shot tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Damn. All right. Well, it's the way she goes sometimes. Usually you make it right down to the end, and they even sometimes fire it up and then abort and stuff like that. So it wasn't a full, like, what do they call it? Tease? The tease? But, yeah. That's what we get for hoping. So, look at the countdown clock's going up now. Leaky hose, yeah, that was yesterday. Yesterday was a kink in the hose. Today was a cloud, and then tomorrow could be something completely different. We've seen boats. We've seen crazy shit. So range violations, all that stuff. So it's just part of the game. But maybe we'll be back doing this again when it goes off. If it's tomorrow, maybe we'll try again. I don't know. But I got to. I'm going to be doing some nickels. I got a box. I got to reset shit. So you might see me back in a little bit. So as for the rocket boy, I'm out. But maybe the nickel boy will come back later. All right? See you guys later.